All right, C1x Road to launch. Day 4. I think it's day 4. We've got some bug fixes to do in the app. We had started to put the list together those last time. The video also stopped recording last time, so everyone got to hear but not see my ranting with ChatGPT about putting a marketing plan together. I did eventually get that put together. I haven't had time to go through it since I did, but I've got the whole report from ChatGPT on my writing tablet, so if we have time, I might run through that and start to put together a to-do list. We'll see. Gonna get some of these fixes in first, though. Let me pop this open. We'll go to recent. Let's pull up our version history file, just so I can type them in as they come up. There it is. All right. So pulling up the to-do list. First thing was the round IDs. So how am I sorting rounds on the main menu? Let's figure that out. Not load current round. Am I doing it in main? Somewhere I'm loading them in. Load round information, maybe a round loading file. Where's my sorting function? Right, that's the question. Must be on that main menu. I don't remember where I put it. Load current round, I don't think is it. That should just be for existing rounds for scorekeeping. So it's not when I load it. So it must just be when I'm saving to it. Save a round. Or actually, I take that back. My thought was always just that I didn't have to sort them because I was just always inserting them at 0. Yeah. Am I calling save round? Why is this not working? Not only am I calling it, but new round courses. I think I'm doing this as I would intend to. On the scorecard, this is where I save it, right? Update round score. Round is over. What is this option here? Shot data is not empty. Or is this that's my undo button. Okay, so we got to keep going here. If round is over button that does this. Handle round finished. And so down here, if round is over, I'm not doing anything, we're just popping. Okay, so that handle round finished. I just don't remember where all my my functions are at. All right. Save scorecard information. I want to keep this open. Save round. Save round to JSON. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm calling. So why isn't this working? Right, that's the question. Because what my note here, it's not showing the most recent rounds first. Yeah. Print new round courses. I do not want to print all those. Get rid of all that. All right. let's reload and let's test that theory. This is going to require me to enter a few rounds real quick. I'm going to try and do it on bound to stream. All right, let's something's having an issue again. Clearly working. What's going on? Why am I not getting this? This is unusual. I think it's going to be a pain again. Everything is saved. Close that out. Yeah. I'm going to quit it. Give it a sec. Keep the simulator up and running. I don't think it's the issue. Take a sip of iced coffee while we're waiting. Ooh, my Mac is not plugged in. Maybe we do that. That might help. That might help. All right, iPhone SE. Load. There we go. Launching. Notice another issue today. I just went and played a practice round for a tournament I had this weekend. And for some reason, tapping on certain rounds from the main menu is not pulling up the round that I actually tap. An issue that I noticed. And the same issue from the all rounds view. I'm not sure why exactly that is, so that's something that we have to look at. But I've got to wait for the app to load first. Should be relatively simple, but it doesn't seem to be working that way. Not all rounds expanded. List view rounds to display. Round IDs round. Yeah, I mean, it should be in the same order. Round courses, round IDs. I don't know. I don't know what would be so confusing about it, because round courses and round IDs, I'm displaying the same information. The names are right on the main menu. But, like, for example, these are the 3 rounds I've scored in this latest update. If I tap River Bottoms at the top, it shows River Bottoms. But if I tap Roots at the bottom, it still pulls up River Bottoms. So it's pulling up the wrong round. Which makes me think that somehow the round ID got duplicated, and I don't know. I don't know how that would have happened. Oh, I ran it on the SE. Dang it. That's fine. I didn't want to run it on that one, but all the issues I'm testing I can certainly do on this. All right, let's score a couple rounds. Let's go. Let me add a couple of preset courses. Let's add Art Die. We'll add Black Hawk. Just so I have a few different courses to score from, we'll make the viewing of this pretty easy. So Fort shown at the top. Okay, start round. Art Die. So now art dice should be shown at the top. It is, but forts is now shown third. That I don't understand. I'm also noticing that I called a print on this new round courses. Oh, here we go. The 4 gold's 36. How is that happening? Print new round IDs. Last index. If round 0 round ID is equal to that, last index is equal to 1. Is that what the example course is? Yeah. It is. It's equal to 1. We add 1. Last index, round 0 should then be is this causing an issue? Round info decoded. Final rounds, add new round. Oh, I think I see what the issue is. I see what one of the issues is. So up here, I'm inserting it first and then adding the additional rounds. I'm inserting the newly finished round. I'm adding the additional rounds after that. Down here, and this is just like a stupid, very elementary mistake to make, and I don't know how I even made it, but here I'm just adding it. I'm not inserting it at 0. Because I haven't actually updated the JSON data yet. So it's still in the original order. Wow. Zero. New round. I wonder if that was causing both of the issues that I'm seeing here. And then this would become 1. So that logic worked for the first round. But the second I have more than 1 round, it is trash, gets thrown out the window. So now I'm always going to insert the new round first. And then if the second round has that round ID, meaning that the second round is our example round, then we remove it. All right. Let me see actually if I'm having 36. The fort golds, yeah, so it's not showing, it's not pulling up the right round. All right, let me delete all of them. And then we'll restart the app. I know the delete function is its own issue. Let's restart, and now let's try and score all of them again, and we'll see if that creates any headaches for me. We'll do the fort first. All right, so the fort shows up. Click on it, it's there, great. All right, next we'll do art die. So now once I'm done with this, art die should show at the top. It shows at the top. If I click art die, that's what it shows. If I click the fort, that's what it shows. All right. Now moment of truth, Blackhawk. So now this should be at the top. It is. If I click it, good. Click it, good. Click it, good. Yeah. So that was causing some issues. Now, how was... Let's do one more. We'll do 36. So once I score this one, that should mean that the fort no longer shows up on the main menu. Yep. This is all working. If I go to all rounds, that was the one I tapped, right? Yeah. Okay, so that seems to have addressed both of those issues. I think the problem is that for anyone who's tested and actually scored rounds, there's no good way for me to go in and fix that, because it's going to be totally dependent on how many rounds they've entered. Two, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I mean, everything's working exactly as intended now. I'm trying to think if, for people who are testing that already have the issue I do, where rounds have the wrong ID, if there's any good way to go in and fix that. And I don't think there is. And I'm worried that anything I would try to implement would end up causing additional issues down the road. Like, I'd rather just tell people to delete existing rounds. Fixed a bug causing round orders. Causing rounds on the main menu and all rounds view to get mixed up, resulting in the wrong rounds showing when if a round has this issue for you, the only solution is to delete it. Is to delete it or leave it without being able to view the round summary if you want it to still count towards your all-time stats. This will not happen for rounds scored after this update. Okay. Very stupid issue. Should never have let that one through in the first place, but at least we fixed it. So currently being sorted on the main menu and all rounds. I thought they were being sorted by date, but that's not how they're being sorted at all. It is by round ID. It's by just the timing of when they're added into the app, which is how the round IDs are created. So this one was already kind of true, but there was the issue with it of it not showing the most recent round first. That was the issue here. So that is fixed now. And then this issue that I just noticed, not playing with the correct round, also related to it. So those are all fixed. Adding gradient to all page views. I think I did that in the last video. I think that's all done. Definitely still subject to change, but we are rolling with it right now. Excuse me. All right, delete round. I'm having issues with this. New round IDs. Rounds, round. I wonder if this was related to the same issue, if I was already sorting it by round ID. I bet you it was. Let's go try it. Delete art die. Yep. Now the fort pops up. Delete Blackhawk. Oh, I did get an error. Okay. Delete round 124. Rounds remove at round ID. That's definitely not something I can do. What was I thinking there? Huh, I have no idea. That's terrible. If rounds length is greater than 1, we do this, we skip. Var index is equal to oh, I can do this up here actually. Var index is equal to this, equal to 0. And then we can go if rounds round ID index is equal to round. Yep. And then this should not be round ID. This should just be round. Or index, excuse me. Another silly mistake. When I do that, I update. This is stats. I skip that. Oh. I update the provider. Am I ever actually writing to the JSON? I don't think I am. Oh no, I am at the very bottom. Okay. Rounds. Am I updating rounds up here? Yes. All right, let me refresh that. Let's go add those rounds back in, and then we can test it. Showing up now again, I guess because the delete didn't go through. Is this still working? Yes. All rounds. Let's go score one at art die as well. All right, so art die 36 Blackrock, the fort. Let's go delete 36. Trying to make sure that it's deleting the round. I'm not getting any errors down here. That's the goal. Okay, that worked. Let's go try and delete the first one. No errors, and it worked. Tapping these still works. The fort works. Let's delete the fort. No errors, just down the Blackrock. Let me refresh the app here. Make sure we just have Blackrock showing. We do, perfect. And let's delete Blackrock. And this should just give us the example round. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so this had its own issue. Also issues with the round ID, but another just very elementary mistake. So, fixed bugs impacting, preventing the delete round button from working proper. We'll call it delete round feature from working properly. Okay. Okay. Those took care of all of the glaring issues. What else do I want to do? What else do I want to do? Let's go to my marketing list here. One thing we can do. Can argue with ChatGPT a little bit more. But with something new at least. So I was going to give ChatGPT the format of my round data and just let it throw at me what it thinks I could do with it. I think I've got a pretty solid list so far, but alright, so when a user scores a round in my new stat keeping app, I generate an array of strings outlining where every shot. Copying this below. Copy an example below. Ask any questions you need to in order to ensure you fully understand what these arrays represent. Then look at the second list I've copied. I guess we'll start with this. One. Each sub array will always correspond to a single output. However, your shot count is off. When the user lands in C1 or C2, I prompt them for the distance on how far away they are from the basket. C1 is 0 to 33 feet, so the user saying they are in between 0 to 11 feet is a part of the same shot. For your example in hole 1, this would be a hole that took 2 shots. Yes. Always in shot order. Same comment on C1 and 11 to 22 feet, though these are a part of the same shot. Zone distance entries. 3. Slightly redundant, but I'm trying to limit the number of input options on a screen and have a pop-up show requesting additional information like specific distance range from basket for when the user lands in C1 or C2. Prompt them after a penalty shot, i.e. throwing the disc in a hazard area to indicate where they are throwing their next shot from. Sometimes they just re-tee, sometimes they move to a drop zone, sometimes they play from where the disc was last inbounds. Depends on the course, but it's information I need the user to provide. Throw in represents any shot that goes in the basket from outside C2. This immediately ends the hole, so yes, it skips additional shots. An ace would be a throw in, for example. Penalty is any shot that went OB, hazard, or missed a mandatory. Incur a single penalty stroke as well. And text following penalty is always representative of where they are throwing their next shot from after taking stroke. No. Layup to 33. Layup to 33 feet. No. To 33 feet would go C1. Oh, I see what they're saying. Yes. Say it was a par 4. Their first shot landed in the fairway. If they then laid up to 33 feet, not really a lay up from the fairway. That's like calling a golf shot that lands on the green from the fairway a layup. If they then laid up to 33 feet and made the putt from there, that's how the array would look. Seven. Yes. Doesn't have to mean lay up. They might have just missed the putt from 11 to 22 feet. Based on my previous comments, just to confirm, this would be a hole that took 3 shots. First shot landed in C1 at 22 feet. Missed putt, then landed back in C1 at 0 to 11 feet, and they made that putt for a 3. Does this all make sense? Correct. Correct. Two, 3, 4 shots. Yep. Yep. Penalty, re-teeing, throwing to C1, and then making the putt. Yep, that's 4. Tee to fairway, then a throw-in is 2 shots. Yep. OB drive to a drop zone. C1, they missed that. That would be a 5. Yep. Your understanding of the examples is 100% correct. Now, below is a list of the stats I'm currently generating for a user based on collection of shot data, all of these arrays over a round. And then we're going to go, the point of this, we're getting ChatGPT to understand. I'm going to give it a list of this, not longest putt, not average distance. Here we go. I'm wondering if you can come up with 2 lists for me. 1. Other stats I could generate without altering the way these arrays are put together at all. A list of stats I could generate with only minor additions to the way these arrays are put together. Let's see what it says. Comeback putts would be interesting. Okay. We're just gonna pull this list over here and add some things that I want to add later. Additional stats to incorporate in the app. And then on this, total shots thrown is a good one. Total shots thrown. Just strokes for a round. But might be fun in the all stats view. Average shots per hole. Average shots per hole. Yeah. Putt comeback rate. Percent of missed C1x putts that are followed by a C1x or C2 make. I like that. Don't like any of the other ones. All right, let's keep going. First shot live frequency. No. This is scrambling. Most frequent putting ranges. How often users land. Bar indicators for typical putting distances, i.e. percentage parked versus percentage 11 to 22 versus percentage 22 to 33, etc. Okay, kind of like how I'm doing the whole scoring averages on the round summary. Something like this bar here, maybe. Throw in frequency, no. Multi-penalty hole count, no. Front nine versus back nine stats. That would be a fun one. Better front nine or back nine player. Scoring spread. Some type of histogram view showing frequency of each score to par for a round, i.e. 2 rounds at +1, 3 rounds at even, etc. I don't dislike that. Birdie conversion rate. Okay. I don't dislike that. Birdie conversion rate. Often C1, C2, and reg resulted in a birdie. Stats that require minor additions. Definitely don't need that. Starting lie tag, I don't need that. Add par value for each hole. Yeah, I already have that. I don't think any of these additions are required. How many total throws were putts? Can already calculate this. I do like that stat though. Ratio of throws versus putts during a round. Just total numbers. Approach hit percentage. Approaches that land. That one is a little harder to tell just because are you actually throwing at C1 or C2 or not? Excuse me, kind of just greens and regulations tab. Misdrives, basically just the opposite of fairway hit percentage. I'm not going to do that. Strokes gained estimate based on pro baseline stats. A little harder to do. Scoring average from each lie. Putting success by previous lie. Not super important. Round to round comparison. Lie to zone. Percent of fairway approaches that hit. Okay. Maybe we stop there for now. That's a pretty good and pretty fun list of stats to use right now. I'm good with that list. So we got some new stats from ChatGPT. Nothing that I'm going to implement yet. I did add it to the add later list, but yeah. We can struggle along with I was working on creating a new app logo. So you can look at that. This is what the current one looks like. Kind of hard to see. It's this same basket. This doesn't change. I've changed the font in this one. This font to match the font that's actually used here. So these are the same. Is it the same letters? It should be. I don't know if it's the exact same as Canva, but it yeah, it is slightly different. It looks like Lolita 1. I think the package that I have is maybe just Lolita. It's around here somewhere. Yeah. Lolita. Is there a Lolita 1? Is that basically what I already have? I think it is. I think it is. Okay. But yeah, I wanted the font to match. And I wanted to revamp that basket design a little bit. That was the hope. The basket was one I'd actually created in Throw with the Pros for that graphic for a while. Now I'm working on this new one, which is maybe a little goofy, but so these are all, it's made up of all of these individual pieces. Oh. I just made them from rectangles that I rounded. So I drag these all into place. This is just a circle that's been squashed. I was going to try and do something similar just because the text is a little bit more rounded. So on, and this is not a strength of mine, let's be very clear. But in the current C1x, the text is quite blocky. In the new C1x, I want it all to be a little more rounded, a little bit more casual. I do want that text on the main menu to be quite a bit bigger. Let's just do that real quick, because I'm looking at it right now. 50. Is that really 50? Yeah. And I can adjust that as well to make it a little more fun. But I also wanted to kind of make a decision on what my round or my color scheme was going to be. I know I just implemented all these new gradients. I set the structure up to where if we want to change them, it's really easy to do. Just in this is, we can change all of the page backgrounds in the entire app from this one structure. But and I want the app icon to reflect that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to completely get rid of or away from the orange and red, but I definitely want it to be a little bit less orange and red. So I was thinking right now we might, let's go here, let's go here. Is this going to look how I think it's going to look? These are strangely a little bit off. I'm not quite sure why that is. Let's go to the position tab, make sure I actually got the angles right here. So I'm adding 25.9 here. I'm subtracting 25, so the angle should be exactly the same. That looks very similar. If I zoom out, does that look bad? I don't think that looks bad. Let's I don't hate it. Like that, yeah. Let's copy paste this. Maybe. And so ultimately what I'm intending to do here is turn this into the 1 again in the logo. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, that's for like drawing that from scratch as someone who is not an artist. That's not bad. You know, like cut me a little bit of slack. It's not too bad. Can I lower this a little bit? Not too much. Just because the original basket was really blocky and I want it all to be nice and round. That's the goal. Like if we remove the weight here and yeah, this at least kind of gives you a view of how the original basket looked. A little bit more round, maybe. I do that. So I went 8 spaces out there. Group those. Yeah. I got a basket right next to me, so I have that to look at. Is that better? Is it worse? And then if I make this actually white. Like it looks like it just needs more chains. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's okay. I don't hate it. I don't think it's terrible. It's not my worst artistic effort, that's for sure. And then if I group this, and can I throw? No, that is not how that works. Is that too much? Maybe. Let me try just this real quick. Nope. What else should I do? I can. So let's group these again. Group it. Group it. Oh, didn't select those. Thank you. Group it. Okay. Now I'm wondering if 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just trying to make room for another row here. Kind of looks like a menorah. Am I using the right word there? Yeah, I am. Is that better? Is that worse? Last question would be, does the middle circle detract? And do I just need, let's do this actually. So we have this. Let me duplicate it so I don't lose it. And now here, let's get rid of this. Ungroup this one, ungroup this one. Grab this, copy, paste. And if I add it here, which one's better? Or are they all terrible? I don't know. I do not know. I think this one's better. I think it's better. Maybe I want this to be a little bit wider. Is that slightly too wide? What do we think? Is that the move? Do I even wrap it in a box? Meaning put a border around it. need to group it so it's not a mess. I do wish, like, it is a finer detail, and the text is so thick. Like, maybe I just like doing that so they're roughly the same thickness. I don't know if that's better. The other option would be that I take a rectangle, we wrap it, come on, here, we do this, and we do this, and we round it. Is that terrible? Let's obviously space this out a little bit. Okay, this is driving me crazy. Come on. Send it to the back. I'm tired of clicking on it. All right. It should be, I want it to be as tall. I do want it to, like, is this just bad? Perhaps. That's what I want it to fit. I don't know if stretching it is the move. I don't love that. Does that work? So what I can do here is I can take this, I can make it really big. That's what it looks like, really big. That looks terrible. The stroke width thickness really did not grow with the size of it. That's my issue here. So we can try and fix that. That's pretty close. The corner rounding needs to go up. That's about how it looked, right? I think so. Let's download this as a picture. Doing this so that I can upload it to Canva and then crop it. Wow. And here. There's our picture. All right, now let's take, come on. It's being a little bit laggy for me at the moment. Grab the small one there just so I have it. Delete. Upload. Upload our new picture. No, I did not remove the background. Online background remover. I typically like the photo room app. They're pretty good. Start from photo. There we go. Now we download. I like it because it'll, for free, give me an image that's a higher resolution than what I'm even uploading to it, which is always great. All right, now it has no background. So we can upload it here, get it to roughly the size that I want it. Let's get everything else right first. A little too spaced out, I think. Maybe that's good. This should be a little bit thicker, it looks like. Try and closely match. Match what I have for the letters. So now it's just getting rid of those corners. I don't really want to shrink it in size. Oh, I'm being stupid here. What is my thickness on this? 21. All right. 21. And now we gotta really round it here. Am I actually centering it here? Like that? How's that? Is that good? Is that awful? Is it too rounded? Just a little bit? You're probably right. Do we think that's okay? It is nice that because I made it an image, I can just auto border it and it works fine. I was trying to fit it into a rectangle and that would have worked eventually, but not ideal. Does the spacing look good? What's not good about it? Should, because I can make this thicker, should the lettering be thicker? Let's duplicate it one more time, and then on here, let's make the stroke weight a little bit heavier. Let's go 30. And then let's try to make these match. And then let's zoom out and look at both of them. I don't know if it's just my laptop being slow, something's not working, but the font looks clean, simple up close. When I zoom out, it gets a little, like the thickness of the border isn't consistent. I don't know what the deal is there. I think we just have to assume that it's going to look consistent. So making it thicker obviously hides a little bit more of the basket. The letters look better. You could do a really minor tweak here and just, 23 maybe. That's probably good. I wonder if I can, so I think that's the winner. Just about. Let's go delete some of these extras just so they're not distracting me here. I decided against this basket. We're rolling with this one. Delete that. I thought these letters were really fun, but probably not useful for me. So, anyhow, we can delete that. Delete that. Okay, now let's duplicate this final one. I want to see if I can just move the basket slightly lower in the frame here. Like so. So instead of it being like up against the top of it, it's down a little bit. I wish I could get a little more space above it. I think that's really my only complaint, which I could do. I could just make the basket slightly smaller in this image and upload it. It might be worthwhile to do. Just be thorough. Make sure I end up with something here that I genuinely like and I'm excited to release. Because I made it smaller, I think I need to make the stroke weight just a little bit less. That's probably good. All right, let's download it. Current page. I'm gonna have to remove the background again. Allow. Get rid of that. Checking for the first time, but it does seem like the recording is still going, which is not the case in the last video, so thank goodness. Download, allow. And then let's upload the file. And then I think here, what is stroke weight is 23. 23, round it quite a bit. Now we've got to make it all substantially smaller, so a little more space up above. We're right inside that second chain right now. Do that here. round it less. What's my corner rounding here? 47. 47, okay. I can make it the same size, and so then I'd get rid of this. That would go there. Oh, what's better? Does it need to be even smaller? I don't think so, just because like the app icon is going to be so small. And that is probably about as small as I could get it without making it hard to see. I kind of like this. I kind of like it. Yeah, that's definitely something I need to figure out now. So what color do I actually want this stuff to be? I have the graphics at least. I have the basket, so I can easily recreate it, but so it was this. I made it smaller. Yellow is definitely common. You can make everything else a nice gray. Oh, I see what the issue is. Group. 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 Edit it. No, I don't want to edit it. I want to change the color of them. Thank you. Maybe these ones, they're all clear, and I make this all gray. It's kind of tacky, isn't it? I think it is. And then here I can throw a rectangle behind it just to add gray to the whole background. And then we just send it to the back. I don't think that made it better. I think the gray pull is okay. I think the color of this and everything else down here, I don't know if gray is the best. Oh. I'm just playing around with colors now. No stroke color. Oh, I see, it does kind of need, what the heck? Come on. Why is, it's just this little, that little part right there that's gonna get me. Can I, this is getting a little excessive here, but yeah, like that. No, for some reason they're not the same size. Not it. It is, it's just this little section right here that I'm trying to cover up. Just isn't quite fitting. Okay, well, I guess what I could do then is do this, do this, do this, and do this, and then add the weight, which is 16. 16. Actually, like zooming out, I don't know if I want to see it above this. Like if this is all okay and I just shorten it to there. But then that does look goofy. forward. Bring it forward. So maybe it's just, I just need to send this back. Yeah, I'm kind of going to end up playing the same game here. Yeah, I feel like me trying to add colors is screwing a lot of it up. All right, so this is where I was at previously. And if I just shrink this to there, it looks pretty tacky. But really, do I just want this to be on the front? Is that? No, it's not what I want. If I send that to back. Then I send this to the back. It's not very good, right? It's not, I know. I know. I like the pole as the gray. It's just this stuff that I can't decide. What other colors? Orange, is this where I get my colors in? I have the red and orange from the original. It really depends on what the background's going to be. The app is not going to be a white background. So that would be another question. In the app currently, it's just the same color as the background. Which is this one. Lots to decide. I don't know. I have this kind of just natural color scheme in the app right now, and I don't think it's the worst, but I could do. Canva's being really slow. If we go up to the colors that I have, main sage gray, I could just copy this gradient in and give it those colors. Which is that basically. That's terrible. I just want the color scheme to look halfway decent, and I can't decide what the solution to that is. I like the direction I'm going here. I like what this is going to become. I like the way the C1x looks right now. What colors do I make it? That is the question in my mind at the moment. And whatever gradient I decide on the logo, maybe then that's what I use for the page background as well. And the reason I don't want it to be so colorful is that I think this is the most important screen in the entire app, and it's going to have so much color. And I think just a consistent one single linear gradient across the entire app just makes sense. I don't hate that. How do I make the text better? Is it just white? Like that, maybe that's worth trying. You know, maybe it is. It's already at the front. Okay. So then I get rid of this. I want this background to be white. So I'm actually going to download it and not remove the background for it. And we'll upload it. I'll crop it so this background will be white as well to match the letters. And maybe that's the direction we go. All right, so we'll copy the style again here, 23. The rounding was what, 47? Okay, 23 and 47, and then we just need to kind of make it look like this. No, not quite that. Gotta cut it off a little bit. A little bit more maybe. Then we can expand it a little bit. That needs to be a little bit lower. Maybe not quite that low. Or was I? With that thickness, we were just inside the second chain. Like so. Same thing here. The ground gray looks a little goofy. Or just, I guess, just the pole being gray there. Like, I wonder if that's all gray, if that looks better. Or if it's just not gray at all, maybe the gray is just slightly distracting. It doesn't look as realistic, I will say that. Since I messed with the pole. Like, I think it looks a little bit better from here. Not quite, maybe. That's better. Okay, and I think the gray looks okay here, but it is a little distracting there. So maybe we just remove it just because I don't have gray anywhere else. All right, last take here. I did already upload a lot of these, so let's go to my downloads and remove all of those so I don't get confused here and grab the wrong one. Trash. There we go. And now let's download this again. Allow. Yep, there it is. Upload. All right, and I remember this time it is 23 and 47. Let's go put the basket there, a little bit more space. That's probably good. Shrink it to that. No, that didn't do what I wanted it to. More space. Definitely bigger, so I need to crop that. Go here, shrink this down slightly. Grow it. I think that's pretty close. Maybe to there. That might be about perfect. Okay, so that's the same size, and then we were just inside that second one. Let's zoom in for this. All right, so just inside there. Right, I think that's about how I was here. About there, maybe. Is that where I got to on the other one? Pretty close. Can I take it just barely wider? Yeah. All right, now let's, yeah, pretty perfect there. Okay. Get rid of that. Move it up. What do we think? Is it terrible or not quite? Let me just try one thing here. No. Oh no. Okay. We got closer today with that. I'd like for the new icon to go live. And if I'm changing any colors, then I want that to be captured as well. Got the small basket. We got the big one. I do think this is better than that, so I'm going to delete it. Let's duplicate it so I can keep that, and maybe we can mess around with colors a little bit more. Yeah, like that's, I mean, that is catchier. And I could just make like the main screens the red and orange. And then just have this screen be a bit more bland. Maybe I do a this is a nice light green transition I'm using in my app. I'd like something as minimal, not very vibrant, but going from red to orange instead of green and gray. Oh, hold on. Alright, now before I do this, let's just copy let's go here. Let's alter this. Come on. Alright, and instead of this color, we're going to go with this. And this. Trying to do the same like minimal gradient, but C, D. No, I'm missing an F here. I see. Thoughts? Looks like the one needs to be lower. It's better. I mean, I think the orange and red is better. Do you think that? But now I don't like the white. And like, I'm sure if I were to do like this, no, it's really not better. No. Yeah, Canva's struggling with the zoom out. Like when I zoom out, I can almost see like little white on the edge of the letters. It's definitely not there when I zoom in, but I kind of like the red and orange better, and maybe that's what I roll with right now. A 3-stop. Yeah. All right. Main rest red. Main muted peach. And in case I want to use these, main soft blush. Is that the move right now? I could also, to be clear, I could make it darker for just the app icon. I want to use these same colors, but for the app icon as well. For this, I need them to be much more vivid. All right, vivid rust red. Let's try this. Maybe this will make me like the white more too. I don't think that's bad though. I do have those colors saved now for the app as well though. So we're not gonna lose them. Okay. What's the orange? Vivid peach. The red is a bit too brownish, and I want the orange to be more of a sunset orange instead of peach. Update these vivid colors accordingly. Because I think when I mute them in the app, the colors won't change. They won't be as noticeable, but they are going to be really noticeable in the app icon. So I'll get them right for when they're really vivid, and then I can recreate the muted ones. Yeah, more red, sunset orange. Yes. Yeah. It's better. It's definitely better. Alright, so let's grab these, because now I'm going to use these for the app icon. Optional midpoint. Sunset blush. Alright, now. Great. Now take these vivid colors and give me the soft versions like you did with the soft rust red. Tone of the existing, yes. Okay. Main sunset red. This is the orange, so this is the third one. Main sunset orange. And then optional midpoint tone right here. Beautiful. Main sunset blush. Okay, so now what we could try, just because I do have the app up, is Do I like the app icon? I guess that's question number one. I think I do. I think I want the text to be a little bit bigger, so maybe we do that real quick. Let's group it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's center it. That might be a little too big, actually, for maybe right there, middle center. Okay, I think I'm gonna roll with that for the moment. I like the colors, so we're gonna say that this is good. And now let's give it a quick try in the app and see if I'm actually onto something here. So on the main, we're gonna go main sunset blush, and then this would be main sunset orange. So currently in the app we have the screen. If I click reset on the app, instead of the screen we get I like it better. And then the real test here is, do I also like it for the round display view, or is it too much? I'm really hoping I like it. Yeah. It is, it's almost a little too much. I think it's better than the green though. And I can change the circular progress colors, right? Instead of that soft coral, we can make it a the vivid red, the bright orange. Sunset orange is maybe going to be a little bit better than that coral. I do want to call this vivid sunset blush and vivid sunset orange. And so then that would be this, but that should have already been in there. Probably a little too much orange. Probably. Maybe we just make it white right now. Make me reset. That's fine. It's a bit much. I don't think that is the move. Yellow? Maybe a yellow goes better with this now. App theme colors dot progress amber. I'm probably not gonna like that either. No, now it's doing the whole, it's not gonna reset for me. Okay, I'll mess with that. I think, oh, maybe it's gonna work. Yeah, it did. Yeah, the yellow's terrible. Yellow is terrible. I don't know if it's even gonna work with me again. Let's just default it back to the red right now. Let's see if it resets it again. It did. Okay, so for some reason it's working on the simulator, it's just not showing it over here. Yeah, all right, we'll stick with I made it a darker red, but we'll stick with that for right now. So, okay, not perfect, but better changes. We got the new logo. That I think looks decent. What else? Let's probably call it there for the video today. Off stream, I will probably go through the marketing strategy. So I have a whole bunch of marketing ideas down here for ChatGPT. Some of this, or for C1x, some of this I've already done. What I would like to do is go through the report that I spent a whole bunch of time putting together yesterday, or prompting ChatGPT to put together, and then build out a rough schedule of sorts within this section. That's what I would like to do. I don't know if I probably won't do that on video, but I'll instead just on video go through it after I put it together, explain anything that's important, but it's basically going to be me going through this report here, page by page, and as I go through the ideas, the ones that I like, I'll be just adding on to this, maybe creating the week by week sections. So doing like a week 1 task here, going through the week 1 section, doing the same thing for all those weeks, and maybe dragging some of my current ideas into those weeks as well, which is all based on a 2-month launch schedule, meaning that maybe by mid-September we would have C1x released. It might be sooner than that. I will probably include I need to announce, let's go here, launch schedule needs to include a date. I determine what the launch date is and start including it in announcements. Task. Let's move that up here. So that's probably what I'll do if I end up having. The reason I might not do it on video is just because it might get broken up over a bunch of different periods of time. I've got a tournament this weekend, and I don't know if I'm going to have hours to sit down and just work on it. But at a minimum, we'll go through it at the end, go through it off camera. I think I grabbed everything from this. We did the delete round, bugs causing ordering, round selection. Nothing else that I did on the priority tasks. But then I did start to jump into my marketing stuff, which was creating a list of new stats that I could eventually put into the app, which we have. I think it's going to be a really good start. It'll be a nice, fun addition later in development, and then working on the logo. So we'll definitely do, I think, at least one video this weekend. Obviously, we're going to keep rolling through this week. I'll probably give myself a little bit of a buffer on this launch schedule. I don't think I'm going to hit week 1 on Monday next week. I'll probably do it the Monday after, just to give myself a little time to knock out a lot of the development tasks, just because the launch schedule isn't really geared towards that. It's more so for marketing. Get most of the big development things out of the way to get the app to a point where, at least functionality wise, it's pretty close to where I want it to be. And then we'll jump into marketing, and I'll still be on video. We're going to keep doing the road to launch videos up until the app is launched. That's the plan, at least. So got some stuff added here, which was good. Started implementing new color scheme to the app. Yeah. Good enough. I think we'll call it there for today. got some marketing work to do this weekend. We'll be back to recap that at some point. And that's all I got for today, I think. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.